The biggest thing you can do right now to improve your rate of success is to coach other people in success. You need to build your product and you need to continue on that specific path of what you're doing for yourself. But it's when you coach others in what you do, to coach them to do what you do, you become that mentor and you're wanting them to be successful. That's when everything will take off for you. That's what happened with Ben Patrick. He started to work with us with Real Movement, and he was keep coaching other coaches. This is what I do. This is what I do with my movements. This is what I'm doing with my social media. He built a social media course there that you can see within the pro game. He was teaching others what he did, and that made his vision of himself expand dramatically because he was getting feedback from peers and from men who'd done dozens of other courses. Like, oh, this stuff's better. This is really good. So by stepping up and mentoring, that's the fastest way that you can change your self-image and take yourself to the next level. You think about it with Paul Council. If you watch the call that we just had recently, most of his calls really, he talks about the importance of having a mentor, but he gets that constant feedback of, okay, I'm teaching these people, and then he wants the feedback loop. He asked me, okay, what was the reaction from that content? It's you getting across what your method is one of the most beautiful things that you can do. This master-apprentice relationship, it's how Western civilization was built. Western civilization has been largely adopted across the world. Western civilization was born out of the Middle Eastern civilization and Asian culture and many factors. It didn't come about in a vacuum. But Western civilization objectively is where the majority of people want to go. It's the most competitive to get into immigration-wise, and it's the culture and practices that have been most broadly adopted across the world. And so if that's how Western civilization was built with this master-apprentice model, if Bill Gates wanted to be mentored by Warren Buffett, which his mother apparently asked Warren Buffett to mentor Bill Gates, why are we not putting this in place? You have that in place working with me, but you need to have students. And so we've launched the Uncommon Essentials, and within Uncommon Essentials, I would like to give you the opportunity to be the big brother for someone else who's thinking about becoming an uncommon success. Maybe one day they become a pro player. You'll be rewarded if they become a pro player. That's fine. It's legit. You're a legit pro player and you're into this journey, you're participating. That's the only way you're going to be rewarded, if you're a legit pro player. And then you support someone else to get to the point where they stop spending a bunch of money on vaping and alcohol and energy drinks and junk food, and they can afford to join the pro game, and they start making some more money. They do some DoorDash on the weekends, they hustle, and they go, okay, I'm going to be the kind of man who could do the program. And it's fair enough that you get rewarded. But don't do it for the financial reward. Do it for who you're going to become in the process of talking them through who you've become, because you only start to realize how much you've changed and how much you know when you teach. You don't really know it unless you're teaching it. So you need to teach specifically stuff that you know as much as you can, but then also teach the principles and teach the way your values and your life has changed as well, the systems that you're adopting. This is an opportunity for pro players who are doing well to apply to and to get experience in. You can also invite people from your local network to join and to do the Uncommon Essentials. It's a free course. And then through that process of supporting them to complete the Uncommon Essentials and understand it and talk them through it, you get to take on that mentoring type role. You also get to then have men local to you who are going through this process. That's the biggest thing that we can do to accelerate this, is to create more local networks of men who are buying in, who are getting these things done. We have that here in the Montenegro village. The conversations that we've had here in the last 24 hours, I arrived around this time yesterday. It's phenomenal. Last 24 hours here with Victor and Lucas and Daniel. We went hiking up in the hill yesterday, scrambling across the rocks. We went up, watched the sunrise this morning. And it sounds like, oh yeah, you're not being productive, but there's always ideas and concepts floating around, business ideas, clarity. I just made Uncommon Essentials course this morning. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, 4:30, somewhere around there. And I didn't want to wake up that early, but I guess that's what I needed to do. I actually listened to some Steve Jobs that Ben Ruan sent me. So Ben works with us, but we have this kind of relationship. He's mentoring and supporting me. He's feeding me ideas. That then leads into, I was already thinking about Uncommon Essentials, but it probably wouldn't have come about today if it wasn't for Ben's little push towards it. And so we all need this. I want you to have this. I want you to have, okay, you get someone into this and then they start feeding you. Oh, have you seen this? Have you watched that? Did you see the latest? Do you understand what's going on with this? The less you're in a vacuum and the more you support it. We have it with the Discipline Action Brotherhood where you have brothers, but if you have students, there's a whole different value that comes with that. And so I want you to be that kind of man. I want you to have that around you. I'd love you to spend more time in the villages, get down to Mexico with Jorge, looking to set up another location. In Paraguay, Montenegro is getting better all the time. Nico's super keen to have more Uncommon Success professionals in Bali, and we will continue to develop and to expand. The Vanuatu facility is getting better and better. The village is getting better and better there. And what we need is the men. And what we need is the men. We have a beautiful system, and there's a financial reward here for you. There's a reward from God. There's a spiritual reward from the universe that you will feel when you take a man from where they are to closer to where they could be, where God wants them to be, or where the universe has blessed them with the potential to be. It's such a beautiful thing. And whatever work you're doing already, some of you are already doing that in your own way, but coupling that with also having men who are on the uncommon path will be massively life enhancing. And so that's the invitation, is invite people to this Uncommon Essentials and support them to do well with it. Or you could put yourself forward as, yes, I'd like to do some mentoring and support calls there, meet men, challenge them, ask them questions, and do the thing that I'm doing for pro players and for Quadrivium members and Trivium members. You're just about to learn about Trivium as well. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. There's so many great things happening here at the moment within this network, and these are the important next steps. I'm excited to give you this opportunity and see what we can create together. The fun is in seeing it unfold. We don't know all the details of how it's all going to look eventually, but we know what we have now is a village. We have these locations that men can go to. We have a beautiful app. We have a beautiful team. And so here's the next step. Jump in with us and let's go. Level up. Game time.